Just because your hands look visibly clean, it doesn't necessarily mean they are. At any point of the day, your hands will be covered with hundreds of bacteria, invisible to the eye. If you don't take the proper steps to wash your hands before eating and handling food, you can transfer these bacteria to your mouth. A few bites of this nasty bacteria, and you can find yourself with the 24-hour flu. My name is Mariel Harzke, and I'm from Lamar Elementary.
My name is Ann White, and I'm from Lamar Elementary.
My name is Steele, and I'm from Santa Rita Elementary.
My name is Karson Munden, and I'm from Santa Rita Elementary.
My name is Mason Kalnbach from Lamar Elementary. And we are
the 20-second sleuths.
Why is it a problem? Food comes from all over the world, like Mexico, China, Austin, and Miami. Second of all, we can't control what they put in the food or if the food is clean. Lastly, everyone has to eat food, so everyone can get foodborne illness. It's a small world after all. For the longest time, problems with foodborne illness can affect and spread within one village, city, country, or island. Just within the past century, modern advances like air travel allow people and products to flow freely and between countries, regions, and continents. For example, someone with the flu in Asia can bring the flu to Texas with a 24-hour period. Therefore, food safety problems are no longer a regional or national problem, but a global one instead.
Foodborne illness. Foodborne illness is also known as foodborne disease and is an illness resulting from consuming a food that has been contaminated with a chemical, natural toxin, or pathogen. This contamination can occur at any stage of the food cycle, including when the food has been grown or raised, harvested, slaughtered, transported by the consumer, and purchased to be prepared for consumption by the consumer.
What are the most common causes of foodborne illness? Those caused by bacteria, Salmonella, E. coli, or Campylobacter. That's a big word, isn't it? We looked it up on YouTube, and now I know how to pronounce it. Those caused by a group of virus called norovirus.
Am I at risk? Yes. Even if you are young and healthy, you are at risk. 76 million cases of foodborne illness are reported to occur every year, and this does not include the many more cases that go unreported. While everyone is at risk, certain groups like pregnant women, infants, the elderly, and those with weakened immune systems, like people with HIV or those undergoing cancer treatment, are at greater risk for getting foodborne illness.
How do you know if you have foodborne illness? Diarrhea, tummy cramps, nausea, and fever. It is one thing to get food poisoning from something in your fridge, but imagine if a restaurant had served a food that had bad germs on it. When this happens, the health department might get involved to try to figure out what happened.
What foods are most likely to be contaminated? Raw meat and poultry, raw eggs, even in uncooked brownies, cake, or cookie dough, unpasteurized milk, and raw shellfish.
How is food safety an issue? Well, it becomes an issue when workers from restaurants or cafeterias don't wear hairnets, don't wear gloves, don't keep their fingernails short, and don't wash their hands before preparing the food. For example, at food buffets, they cover the food to where if a grown-up sneezes and doesn't cover their mouth, it just goes on the cover. But if a kid sneezes, it goes straight into the food. Somebody's gonna come and pick that food up. They got sick. In our homes, it becomes an issue when we don't clean our hands, don't clean our work surfaces, don't wash our fruits and veggies well before eating, don't separate the food like raw meat and poultry, and fruits and veggies. And it becomes a problem when we don't cook our food thoroughly and don't put away our food promptly after eating. How to fight the germs. Wash your hands before preparing food. Wash fruits and veggies well before eating. Check the expiration date. Like at school, we took the milk from our refrigerator that had been in there for a couple days and put it in a basket. A girl came and took it without checking the expiration date. She said she didn't feel well after she drank it. We took the milk from her and checked the expiration date. It was a week past due. We poured it out in the sink and it was chunky. She didn't feel good for the rest of the day. Eat only foods that are properly cooked, look and smell, covered and refrigerate. For example, you help your dad make hamburger patties. You get a bad bacteria from the raw ground beef on your hands. You hold your little sister's hand. She uses that hand to eat a snack. Now that bacteria has made it inside her and can make her sick.
Plan of action. Let me tell you what we did. Of course we researched. We read some interesting books. We went to the ASU Food Safety Lab and we did some cool experiments in our class. We polled our classmates and we gathered our findings.
Brief history of food preservatives. First, we wanted to learn about preservatives. In our class experiment, we compared how well salt, vinegar, and water preserve foods. We found that salt keeps meat fresh the longest. Long ago, the Indians used salt to keep their meat fresh. Vinegar keeps vegetables fresh the best, and water did not help preserve any of the foods tested. Always remember to shop the perimeter of the grocery store for the freshest foods with no preservatives.
We went to the ASU Food Safety Lab. In the first picture, Dr. Branham, our mentor, is showing us where they harvest the meat. And we needed to wear lab coats because it was really cold, because germs can't live in the cold. In the second picture, Dr. Branham is showing us how they harvest the meat. After the meat is harvested, it is to be hung so that the FDA can check it. And finally, in the last picture, Dr. Branham is showing us the packaged meat with the label that has all the important information. The one that you really have to eat is the expiration date.
As you can see in this picture, Dr. Branham's putting lotion on her hands to represent the germs. And then in this picture, we went in the bathroom and washed our hands. We went into a dark room and she put a black light over our hands to see where we didn't wash our hands.
So based on that experiment, we decided to conduct our own hypothesis. Hand washing for 20 seconds with soap and water is more effective at minimizing germs than hand washing for 20 seconds with hand sanitizer.
Experiment. In our class experiment, we used our own germs. First, we collected bacteria from several locations onto our hands, like countertops, tabletops, doorknobs, the bottom of our shoes, and even the water faucet. Next, we washed our hands using different methods. 2 of us washed our hands with soap and water for different amounts of time, and the other 2 of us washed our hands with hand sanitizer for different amounts of time. Then, using a straw, we swabbed our hands and wiped them into the Petri dishes.
Results of experiment. W stands for hand washing and S stands for hand sanitizer. As you can see in this picture, hand washing was better at minimizing germs than hand sanitizer. You see the same in these pictures. So overall, hand washing was better at minimizing germs than hand sanitizer. Our hypothesis was right. But overall, what's better? Well, hand sanitizer is quicker, easier, saves water, and we are in a drought, but it's not as effective. On the other side, hand washing takes longer, not as quick, not as easy, wastes water, and as I said, we are in a drought, but it's the most effective way to get rid of germs. But overall, the best way at minimizing germs is to use both. Brochures and posters. We made posters showing where and how long you need to wash your hands. You need to wash your hands in between fingers, fingernails, palms, wrists, and under any type of jewelry. You need to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. Graph results. We gave our class a little test. It asked these following questions. What do you use to wash your hands? 4 hand sanitizer and 62 soap and water. Which would you use if given the choice? 14 hand sanitizer and 50 soap and water. How long do you wash your hands? It was half and half, more than 20 seconds and less than 20 seconds. Do you wash your hands before eating or handling food? 2, no answer. 9, no. And 55, yes. We taught our classmates with these brochures. We gave our class the same test using these following questions. How long do you wash your hands? 18, less than 20 seconds. 48, more than 20 seconds. Which would you use if given the choice? 7, hand sanitizer, and 59 soap and water. Do you wash your hands before eating or handling food? No. 3, 63, yes.
The best way to avoid foodborne illness: clean, separate, chill, and cook. Clean all work surfaces, clean dishes, and most importantly, clean your hands. Separate foods like poultry and fruit and meat and vegetables. Chill, foods that need to be cold need to be kept at 40 degrees or below Fahrenheit. Cook foods for 160 degrees Fahrenheit.
Here are some resources that
Thank you for listening.
And most of all, thank you, Dr. Brandon, for being our mentor.